I've lived my entire life in a universe where Superman is not the hero everyone thinks he is. In fact, he's far from it. In this world, Superman has all the powers you've read about in the comics and seen in the movies, but he doesn't use them for good. Instead, he uses them to control and manipulate those around him, and much, much worse. Growing up, I always heard stories about Superman and how he would fly through the air, save people from burning buildings, and stop crimes in their tracks. But those stories were just that, stories. In reality, Superman is a terrifying figure who rules with an iron fist. As a child, I was warned to never go out at night and to always stay inside my lead-lined home. It was said that if Superman caught you outside after dark, you would never be seen again. People would go missing all the time, and no one dared to question what happened to them. It was clear that Superman was behind it all. I remember one night when I was about 10 years old. My parents and I had just finished dinner, and we were settling down to watch a movie when we heard a loud crash outside. My parents immediately knew what it was. He had found us. We scrambled to grab our lead-lined coats and make our way to the basement, but it was too late. Superman had already broken down the door and was inside our home. We could hear his footsteps as he searched every room, and we knew that it was only a matter of time before he found us. Suddenly, we heard a loud screech, and my heart sank as I realized that Superman had found our pets. We had 2 dogs and a cat, and they had always been like members of our family. But now, they were nothing more than collateral damage in Superman's quest for power. I could hear the sound of Superman's heat vision as it burned through the walls of our home, and I knew that he would soon find us. My parents and I huddled together in fear, holding on to each other tightly as we waited for the worst. But to our surprise, Superman didn't come for us that night. Instead, he simply left, leaving behind a trail of destruction and death. Our pets were gone, but at least we were still alive. In the aftermath of that night, my parents and I knew that we could never let our guard down again. We were lucky to have survived, but we knew that Superman could come back at any moment. We reinforced our home with even more lead-lined materials, and we began to plan for the worst. As I look back on that night now, I can't help but wonder what would have happened if Superman had found us. If he was willing to kill helpless animals without a second thought, what would he have done to my family? It's a question that haunts me to this day. And it's a reminder that we can never be truly safe as long as Superman is in power.